Hi everyone, welcome to Anna's Nail Advice, a series where you guys send me pictures of your troubled nails, and I, as a nail technician of 25 years, try to figure out what's happening to your nails and help you improve your nails. I do have a paid service where you guys can submit the pictures and your story, but I also get a lot of emails where people ask for help. So I try to do as much as I can, kind of pro bono, and I share these stories with you guys because I get a lot of similar questions, so this might help many people. Okay, so in today's video, we are going to be talking about damaged nails, more damaged nails. So one of our viewers is saying, "Hi Anna, I don't usually get professional manicures and keep my nails short and bare, but I had a gel manicure in December for a special event and my nails looked rough after removing it. On advice of a friend, I got a dip manicure to help to protect my nails while they grew out. If only I found your channel, then I would have known better." Not surprisingly, the nails were much worse when the dip came off. Additionally, they had a thin groove where the technician had e-filed the dip product down near the cuticle and filed a line right into the nail as well. The ends of most of the nails peeled back significantly. A couple of them are continuing to develop more peeling. Is there any way to prevent continued peeling? I'm also worried about the groove that has been filed into the parallel to the cuticle. What is going to happen as this grows out? Very good question. Any advice to prevent it from becoming more damaged around this area? I'm also planning to start a cuticle regimen of oil, carousel, and orange stick. All right, so let's look at the nails. So the thumbs usually are the thickest, so you don't see as much damage, but definitely, yes, I can see there is a different in color here, and there is definitely a line. So this line usually happens when there is a product on the nail, especially when the product is harder, because when the product is harder, people automatically put more pressure on the tool that they're using, and it's not necessarily always with electric file, and it's not a fault of the electric file, it's a fault of basically the technique is at fault. And the wrong angle usually, because if the product, let's say you have a nail like this and the product is thick, then instead of having the file, either electric file or hand file flat with the nail, you have the file like this, and if it slips, it will file into the nail. And this can happen with the hand file, but when it happens with the hand file, the area is usually bigger, because with the electric file, it's usually smaller. So a line like this, yes, it indicates electric file. So let's look at the rest of the nails. And as you can see, this is why I always ask you guys for very good pictures, especially I need to have the light bouncing off the nails. So you see, I need the light here. The nails cannot be in the shadow, because then I can't see the texture of the nails. And here I can see clearly the texture of the nail. So here you can see a lot of thinning of the natural nail, and these lines here, the redness, they are splinter hemorrhages. So they are just a little bruise that happens to the nail, and usually because the nails grow in these grooves, the bleeding happens, and you can see the little lines, like tiny little bleeding. Not a big deal. This is usually due to trauma, especially if the nail is thinner. Okay, so December. Okay, so this probably happened like a month and a half ago, where she got the gel dip done. Sorry, the dip applied. And so the good news is there was not that much damage here, but there was quite a lot of damage here. So if this is about a month worth of growth, this is about 2 months, this is 3, yeah, which then this kind of looks like it happened during the gel manicure, but sometimes it can happen, well, usually it happens during the removal. So this is at least 2 months you're going to have to kind of suffer with these damaged nails, because it's going to just take time for this to grow out. So let's see so this one is the worst. The rest are actually quite much better. So this one has about a month of growth before it grows out, and these ones are quite good. You know, very often we're using these nails more too. So let me just say one thing, that when it comes to nail enhancements, the damage can happen when people are applying these products. The damage can happen when those products are being removed, but a lot of damage actually happens as well when the product is worn, because it's almost like you have a hard coating on your nails, and normally when you are putting pressure on your nails, you can feel through the nail, because the nails are quite flexible and you can feel through them when you put a lot of pressure. So when you don't feel anything, you are more likely to kind of bang your nails and hit them, and that causes a lot of tension, a lot of stress on the area where the product bonds to your natural nail. So what's going to happen? It's almost like, let's just imagine you have a fabric and you have a Velcro, right? So the sticky thing. If, let's say, you have a fabric that's very easily to be damaged, let's say silk, and you put a Velcro and you start pulling it off. Eventually, the surface is going to suffer because you've been pulling the cells of the natural nail. And this can happen during wear, and this is not usually discussed before the service. And I guess many people just don't realize that, because as an industry, usually we are taught that the damage happens either because people peel off the product, the clients, so we're blaming the client, or we're blaming ourselves for the wrong removal or the wrong application or refiling the nails. So usually people would say it's not the product, it's the nail technician that causes most of the damage, or the client when they pick it off. But believe it or not, even if everything is followed correctly, so the product is prepped properly, the product is removed properly and not picked off by the client, you can still end up with damage if you're putting a lot of stress on those nails. In case of enhancements, two things can happen. Well, three things can happen. If you're very gentle with your nails, if you're using these enhancements for the right reasons, meaning just as a decoration, and you really take care of and you baby these nails, then usually if everything is followed properly, so the proper prep has been done, again, you are babying the nails, which is great, and then the product is removed properly, you might see a little bit of damage, but there shouldn't be a big disaster. But if the nail is prepped correctly, if the product is removed correctly, but in between you were not aware that you should be really taking care of the nails and not putting a lot of not putting them through a lot of stress, the actual wear can pull the surface of the natural nail. It can totally happen. Now, this can get even worse when improper prep has been done. Then you put a lot of, you put the nails through a lot of stress, and then a very rough removal, or you peel off the product. So there is no such a thing, like it's not all black and white. It's not like the products don't damage the nails or the products always damage the nails. It's usually somewhere in between. So, and then usually people are not aware of how gentle they have to be with their nails, because majority of times, and I really have nothing against enhancements, but I used to do a lot of gel, but I kind of got tired of it because I got tired of seeing damaged nails, because you can't change people really. And I just realized that usually people that are very, very gentle on their nails do not end up in a salon getting a gel, service done. It's usually the clients that are very hard on their nails coming to a salon to put a hard product on their nails so they can still be hard on their nails but have nice nails. So the outside looks all nice and pretty, but underneath the nail is getting more and more damaged, and this is what's happening. Long story short, but I hope this was very helpful, because people just need to be aware of it. And the thing is, as an industry, we are mostly being trained by the companies that sell the product. So the companies usually will tell you, oh yeah, this is amazing, just you can use it on all the clients, and it makes your nails stronger, and look how beautiful it is, and all that. And yes, it can be very beautiful, especially when it's done correctly, but these things are not for everyone. So there has to be usually a conversation, in my view, in the ideal world, between the client and the nail technician, asking if the client is a good candidate for this type of service. But I would say 99.9% of the time, it doesn't happen. Client books acrylic, client gets acrylic, because client is always right, and this is what people do. But in my opinion, in order to avoid these issues, there has to be a conversation of what is expected of this type of service, and also what I ask the client what they expect from me, and then in return explain to them what I can give them. And we have to meet somewhere in the middle, because it's not just so one-sided. And I personally do not recommend, or I don't advertise these products as they will make your nails stronger, because they will not make your nails stronger. They will make your nails look better and feel stronger, but they actually could be getting damaged underneath, and you have to be very, very gentle with them. This is how people should be sold these type of services. Anyway, so like going back to this issue that we're having, unfortunately, once the nail is damaged like this, I'm going to be honest with you, you can only condition the nail, you can protect the nail possibly from further damage, but you cannot heal it. And I actually had a comment the other day that I was just reading, actually, I think today, and someone was mentioning that they had a ridge in their thumbnail and they buffed it, they filed it, and then they had a split, and it took 6 months for the nail to heal. So we need to understand that the nails are dead and they cannot heal. What has to happen is that the damaged part, just like in your hair, let's say if you fry the ends because you get your hair bleached or something, and the bleached has been left maybe too long on the hair, or just your hair is not very good with bleached and you get your hair damaged, or your hair gets damaged, this hair cannot be healed. You can condition it, you can really take care of it, but it will not ever heal. So it just has to grow out. Same thing with the nail. So the nail just has to grow out, and it just takes a very long time. And very often after a month or two, people are like, oh my God, my nails are still a disaster. There has to be something wrong. I'm doing something wrong. And you know what? They are usually doing everything right. It's just takes time. Because as you can see, a healthy nail is growing. So whatever is, it's nothing internal. So there is nothing that you are either doing or not doing. It's just that the nail has been damaged. And obviously this person knows that, but she's just wondering what to do in order to protect the nails from further damage. So anything that is bonded to the natural nails has the ability to damage the nails, even nail polish. And actually, I have seen a lot of damage even with natural polish. And I have another video that I'm going to make very, very soon about the damage that is caused by a nail polish, because I've been getting a lot of viewers asking for this. So if, let's say, the nails are very sensitive, and again, the actual nail is not sensitive, it's just that the nail is so thin that you can feel the nail bed underneath. So this is what makes it sensitive, because the nail plate protects the nail bed, protects the end of the finger. So in that case, I do recommend wearing a little bit of nail polish, because that will make the nail feel a little bit protected. But for that reason, I prefer to use nitrocellulose free nail polishes, because nitrocellulose, which is it's okay ingredient, it's just that it has the ability to possibly further damage the nail. So even the nitrocellulose free nail polishes can damage the surface too, but I think they are, from my experience, they're a little bit more gentle. So in the US, that would be, for example, Dazzle Dry, and there are a lot of actually top coats. I'm actually going to put maybe those polishes in the description box, the ones that are nitrocellulose free. But in the US, the best option would be Dazzle Dry base coat and top coat. This is actually one of the longest lasting nitrocellulose free nail polishes. In the Europe, if we're in Spain here, there are a few options too. I really personally like the Catrice building base or something like that, or building, it's not going to build anything, but it is a nitrocellulose free nail polish that it seems to be pretty gentle and it does not yellow the nails. Wearing 1 or 2 coats is going to make the nails feel better. It's not really going to help the nails. So what are we going to do to help these nails, to condition them? What I would recommend is the warm oil soaks, and for that, jojoba probably is the best idea, or even sunflower oil mixed with some avocado, for example. But jojoba is one of the best oils, and the reason why it is because the molecule of the jojoba is so small that it will seep into the nail, protecting the nail and making it a little bit more flexible, for sure. And I've been talking about it for a while, but I have to probably make a very specific video because I still get these questions even after people watch the video that I mentioned this. Please do not use hardeners on nails that are damaged, because when you have a damaged nail, so basically when you have, let's say half of this nail plate is gone in this area, you don't need a hardener, because these nails don't need to be harder, they need to be stronger, right? And strength doesn't necessarily come from extra hardness. Sometimes you get the strength, the toughness from extra flexibility. And the last thing you need is a nail that's very, very thin and very brittle, because this is what hardeners will do. The hardeners will only harden the nail. There's no such a thing as necessarily a strengthener that actually like absorbs into the nail and makes the actual nail stronger. What usually the companies mean by strengthener is just applying a layer on your nails for your nails to feel a little bit stronger, but they actually don't make your nail stronger. So the second you remove the polish from the nails, they are not stronger. So you're not really helping it, you're just covering the issue. And that, if you want to do that, that's fine, but you can do that with every nail polish on the market, the cheapest polish on the market, because the ingredients, the nice ingredients that are in these strengtheners are not really helpful. Not really helpful. They are in such small amounts that I don't think that they are very beneficial. It's almost like eating a whole pizza, having one leaf of spinach, thinking that you're doing something for your health. No, you can eat the pizza. There's nothing wrong with pizza, but just don't think it's for your health. It's just because it tastes good, right? And for your health, I don't know, have a smoothie if you want to have more spinach, but like eating 5 pizzas to get your intake of spinach is just not how this happens, right? So warm oil soaks would be the most important thing that I would do. So once a week, warm oil soak. Another thing that you could try is products like that are nail polish free. So things like the Esden pen, for example. And that one is a like a leave-in product, basically, that you would put on the nails once a day. You would brush it on and it dries pretty quickly, but it leaves almost like a nice film on the nail that makes the nail just look a little bit more shiny and a little bit more healthier. This could be helpful if you are using it on a regular basis, and it just helps to probably protect the nail a little bit. Again, this is not a miracle, but it just might help the nail feel better. But the Esden pen has to be used on the natural nail, on the naked nail. You can't use it, you wouldn't get the benefit of it if you were not nail polish. So let's just look at the rest of the nails. Yeah, the good thing is the biggest damage is here. So you're going to have to, unfortunately, kind of suffer with this for about 2 months and just keeping the nails short. And not buffing the peeling surface, because I get that question a lot. What do I do when I have peeling nails? Can I just buff this off? Well, not really, because it's really difficult to peel off, to stay on just the peeled area, because when you put a buffer over the whole surface, you're just going to reduce and damage that whole surface, not just remove the peels. So unfortunately, just keeping it short. The Esden pen might just soak into those little lifted areas, and it can make it a little bit better. Carousel definitely will help too, to keep that skin nice and healthy. Pushing back that living skin a little bit every couple of days, just very, very gently, will also help the nails to just look better. But other than that, I think this is all you can do, and I don't think there was anything you can do. You see, this is the redness here from the damage. So yes, often you see these products as these nail strengtheners for damaged nails and all that, and just be careful with them, because some of them have hardeners, and you really want to stay away from hardening a nail that's already damaged. And there is another thing that is, I don't want to say dangerous, but it's really concerning when it comes to hardeners. Some of them contain formalin, which is fine. It's okay hardener. Don't use properly is fine. But the thing is, if the nail is so thin, that ingredient, it's not supposed to touch the skin whatsoever, because it can cause allergic reaction when you have skin contact. So when the nail is so thin, that product will soak into that nail, through that nail, and will hit the skin, and it could sensitize the person. And then once you are sensitive to formalin, you probably become sensitive to any other nail polish. So Be very, very careful. And when it comes to, again, don't be afraid of the ingredient, but be aware of how you should be treating that ingredient. That ingredient should be treated with respect. And for some types of nails, it could be very, very helpful, and it's fine if you are using it correctly. So I don't want to demonize, formalin, because it can be very helpful. It's just not for such damaged nails. This is not a good idea. And a lot of the hardeners and strengtheners do contain that ingredient. So just make sure you're looking at the label, start reading the labels, and look for methylene glycol or formalin or formaldehyde. It's not a formaldehyde, but usually when people talk about formalin, they call it formaldehyde, which is incorrect, because the formaldehyde is actually a gas. So the nail polishes contain formalin as a hardener, which is a mixture of formaldehyde and water, but it's a completely different chemical. So none of the polishes contain formaldehyde, which is a gas. Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful, and see you soon. Bye.